Yeah, but this Sonic game, the 3D one, we just got like a CG trailer, and it has new attitude Sonic that has sex with the cat.
Well, look what we got here. So, I've been told many times to take a look at this video, this IGN talks about Sonic video. From what I've heard, they say a whole bunch of just dumb stuff about Sonic, and well, apparently you guys wanted me to take a look at this and do a reaction on it, so without further ado, yeah, let's go ahead and do a reaction on this. My name is Wolfie, guys, and let's take a look at Sega doubles down on Sonic from IGN, or whatever this is. I don't know what this is called.
Shadow Basketball!
Good God, man, look at the dislikes to like ratio. It's huge! This ought to be good.
Alright, well, continuing down our nostalgic path this week, 2 new Sonic the Hedgehog games were announced over the weekend at Comic-Con. First up is Sonic Mania,
yes,
a new 2D platformer
yes,
with
Sonic Mania, the hype is
Sonic
shit.
Gameplay. PS4, Xbox One, and PC spring of next year, and it is reimagined areas from Sonic's 1, 2, 3, CD, and Knuckles.
So good.
That I missed. I thought it was just an all-new game.
No,
it's-
reimagined
so
levels.
good, girl. I want Sonic Mania.
Green Hill Zone from Sonic 2, and you're like, this is familiar, and then all of a sudden there's a boss at the end that's...
Not to be that guy, but it's
Knuckles
Emerald
or
Hill from
something.
Sonic
Like
2, but that's a
it's
nitpick.
like a mixtape.
Yeah, plus new levels.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, the 2D one's far more interesting to me. The broody, grim, dark, save the world other one, like it reeks of Werehog, and I'm not.
I mean, the
into it.
trailer looked great. Like it felt like the music was great and the graphics were great. Just
Really
the mix
good.
of old and new. When I saw Sonic Mania, I thought to myself, we might finally have a second good Sonic game.
Yeah, so there
Second?
was
Was there a first?
Yeah, was there a first?
Sonic CD.
next Sonic CD.
I'll stop them right there. I feel I'm going to have to be pausing a lot during this. But, second good Sonic game, and they're going to claim that Sonic CD. While my favorite Sonic game is Sonic CD, and it is indeed a very amazing game, what about Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and, there's a huge problem with that, and I can already tell where this is going. I don't like it. I don't like this road they're going down. But let's continue. Sonic CD is great, though. Just gonna say that right now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I thought you would say Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, no.
That one's good. That's a legitimately good game.
I loved starring as the player in that game.
Yeah, very funny. But Dr. Bob's Mean Bean Machine is a good game. It's basically a reskin Puyo game. So yeah, it's a damn good game. Sonic's spin-off more, but
So people seemed excited about this Sonic Mania announcement.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People seem to have forgotten that not too long ago there was Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Yep.
It was
I haven't
We
forgotten.
had 2 episodes.
Yeah, and I think it was pretty mediocre.
There was also Sonic Generations, which was predominantly 2D, had some 3D stuff in it, but like, I think we're okay. I think we're at the
Real
point
talk.
where we need to admit that this was never really a great franchise.
Whoa, okay. This is the crux of it all. This is where it all comes down to. This is it, guys. We finally got to the meat and potatoes of this video. I now know why you guys wanted me to watch this. This is one of those Sonic was never good things, wasn't it? That escalated fucking quick, didn't it? Jesus, man. I knew it was coming. I was just like, I could tell. Look at these 4 impractical Joker knockoff impression looking motherfreakers, and they're already going in on Sonic was never good. I hate this. I hate that argument so much. It drives me nuts that people say that all the time now. And I'll go on a little mini rant at the end of this, I'm sure, about why I hate that argument so much. But man, he wasted no time getting into that. He's just like, let me just come out and say it right now. Sonic was never good. I think we should all come to an agreement here, because I'm sure we all agree on this, right, guys? Fuck Sonic, right? Ugh. Man, I went on a tangent. Back to the video.
Franchise. And that we keep trying to find this thing that was never really actually there.
Sonic was never good.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, he said it! Oh, god damn it. No. Keep continuing.
5-year lie.
Yes.
It was like they re-released like Ecto Cooler this year, and we're like, hell yeah, it brings me back to middle school. And I went and I drank it, and I'm like, this is not that great. And I was like, maybe it never was that great. Maybe it's just green water.
I don't know. I don't really understand why, but there is a segment of the gaming community that really, really loves Sonic.
Sonic
Yes.
was never good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.
Also,
Yeah.
Hello, 911. I'd like to report a Sonic fan. Yeah, it's me. Come get me. Oh, this is gonna be painful, man. I can tell.
the reason is they all want to have sex with Big the Cat.
That's true.
That is still the reason.
No, look,
I
I
said
think-
it an hour ago. I'll say it again.
I think when you're a kid, Sonic is awesome, right? Because especially
Fast.
back then, he's fast.
Yeah.
The characters are cool. The level designs are really cool. It's a lot grittier than
Music's
Super Mario
great.
World. The music's great. And you get about halfway through that game, and then you realize it's actually very cumbersome and tedious, and it's not very well laid out.
It's trial and error.
It's very trial and error.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of like you put up with it when you're a child because you don't think of you don't really know there's a whole other world out there.
Well, when people
And here's another argument a lot of people like to use against the old Sonic games. The fact that the levels get cumbersome later on. It's called an escalating difficulty. I think what a lot of the Sonic, I won't call them haters, but a lot of people who don't really like Sonic will always use that argument. But if each Sonic level was more or less the same, like say each level was Green Hill Zone, where you just kind of zip and fly through loop-de-loop, and there was really no escalating challenge as the game went on, it would become monotonous and kind of boring, just a basic freerunner game. I suppose that's, from the sound of things, it sounds like that's what these guys want, but I don't know what to say. I will admit, like, on Sonic 2 specifically, the difficulty spike in later levels, like, say, Metropolis Zone and Sky Fortress, are freaking, like, incredibly hard. I remember being a kid and, like, this is really hard, but come on, man, you guys are reaching, like, and trial and error. Since when has trial and error ever stopped a game from being great? Because last I recall, Dark Souls was reviewed very well, and that's pretty trial and error if you ask me. You go through, you die, you learn from the experience, and you keep on going. That's to say, Sonic is kind of a speedrunner game where the more you play it, the more you understand the level layouts, you can find the quicker, higher routes, or if you're suck at the game or you're playing it for the first time, you're probably going to wind up taking the lower path, which is a lot harder, it usually has water and a lot more depth things. Your reward for getting better at Sonic games is speed. That's kind of the thing. There's been a whole bunch of video arguments on that, but I won't go into it. Back to the video.
picture Sonic, they're picturing Green Hill Zone. And
Yeah.
You're zipping around and going over loops, and in Sonic 3, there's a big ship, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. And they're forgetting the back half of the game that's like very tedious and boring.
And the
the
terrible
spikes again.
boss fights and the spikes, the
Yeah.
bottomless pits.
Once you get to
I'm gonna have to stop right there. The terrible backhand of levels thing, I don't see it. Also, bad boss fights. I'm sorry, they're not really bad boss fights in Sonic games. They're all pretty good, except for my favorite Sonic game, Sonic CD, which I will admit has some pretty garbage boss fights, if I'm gonna be honest about it. But if they're talking about in general, I don't see it.
pits,
once you get to I
the
believe it's-
drowning music that I
even like Casino Zone, which is like a cool idea for a level, is mostly just like terrible pinball
Well,
tedium.
that's what Casino Zone is like Vegas, where it's like a cool idea in theory for a
Yeah.
place, and then you get there, and after an hour, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Let me leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
you're trapped.
Yeah, you
So
just reek
I-
of smoke, and you don't know where outside is.
I feel bad for Sega because Sonic is their number one is their biggest franchise ever, and they've been chasing this ghost for decades now. And
Well, yeah, it is fascinating. I've talked about this book before, Console Wars
Yeah.
show. It's incredible.
I
Required
have
reading
that
for
book.
anyone who
I
loves
wish I
video
had it
games.
with me. I could pull it out right now.
Yeah, like, but when
Console
they
Wars
intro-
is a great book, by the way. You should probably read that if you're ever interested in the old school Sega versus Nintendo Console Wars of yore. I didn't get to actually finish the book because I moved beforehand, and I think it's in a box somewhere. But yeah, it's a really cool detailing like document that goes over like Kevin Kalinske and how he pretty much put Sega of America on the map and how Sonic came about and their response to Nintendo, Nintendo's response to them, and the whole controversy. It's a lot of good stuff in that book. Very good read.
Sonic in like 1990, circa 1990, 91, it totally worked for Sega and pushed them ahead of Nintendo in the
Yeah.
16-bit console wars. Like, there is something there to it
Yeah.
that people latched onto.
Yeah.
I don't understand what it is.
Yeah,
personally.
I think the difference was within 5 or 6 years of the release of those games. And Sonic 1 is a non-issue. It's a terrible game. Sonic
Oof. Nah, bro, nah. Sonic 1's great.
2, I think, and Sonic and Knuckles have redeemable aspects. Within 5 years of those games, you could play Sonic 2 and you could play Super Mario World in the same afternoon, and you realize which one aged better. And you fast forward to now, 20-something, 30, whatever, how long it's been.
Yeah.
Super Mario has just aged better. Like, it just always has.
for sure.
And many retro games have.
That one is subjective. I'll say a lot of people would probably say Super Mario World plays better than Sonic 2, or some people would argue vice versa. I'm in the camp where I think both Sonic 2 and Super Mario World are pretty much really, like, they're up at the same level, I'd put them. For me, anyway. My opinion, I'd put them both at about the same level. Super Mario World is my favorite Mario game of all time. Sonic 2 is probably my 4th favorite Sonic game of all time. But to be fair, he's comparing Super Mario World, which is what? Mario 2, Mario 3. Super Mario World is like the 4th game, I think, in the series, versus the 2nd Sonic game in the series. I don't know. My point is, you can't really compare a game that far into its series to a game that was barely getting started at that point. Sonic 1 was basically the foundation layer, which is a pretty damn solid foundation. Had good physics, you know, everything worked the way it was supposed to. Sonic 2 built upon that and gave us things like Tails and the Spin Dash, which was a huge momentum changer in at least Sonic 2. Super Mario World, while being an amazing game, was built off of how many years of platforming games, yeah? So I don't know if that's a fair comparison, but even then, I still think Sonic 2 and Super Mario World are... I don't see one as better than the other. They're both great. Apples and oranges, you know, for whatever platforming you're looking for.
Games have. It just never was that great.
The other new Sonic game is something new, 3D, coming holiday 2017.
Yes.
To PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo NX.
Yeah, but this Sonic game, the 3D one, we just got like a CG trailer, and it has new attitude Sonic that has sex with the cat, and then it has
There's
old.
2 of them.
Whoa! Where's the sex with the cat thing coming from? Is this the same guy that said that all Sonic fans want to have sex with Big the Cat? Like, dude, you right here, dude, whatever your name is, you need to calm down with that cat sex shit. I don't know what's going on over here. He might have the hots for Blaze. Ha, hots for Blaze. Look what I did there.
Yeah, and then it has old, like, chubby 90s.
Or big. I ain't judging.
Side of them. They're both trying to go on a date with a human or something.
Yeah,
I
something
don't know.
weird. Something. It's all sexual.
Sonic memes.
I think this brings the grand total of confirmed NX games to 3.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
Just Dance,
Yep.
and this new
We
Sonic
did it.
game.
You did the German 3.
Ever since Inglourious Bastards, I do the German 3. When we're in Cologne, you're not giving me tell me apart from all the other Germans.
Because he's been doing a German 3.
Is that what that is?
But
The
he
1, 2,
knows
3?
you.
Yeah, that's from Inglourious Bastards. That's why
Oh, that's right. This is like a Ninja Turtles.
Because they
hang-on.
count 1, 2, 3. It's Bizarro World. All right.
What is that? Is cat
I was doing like a weird little clause. Like,
That's not what the Turtles do. Don't stop that.
Again with the cat thing. What the fuck, man? Wow. This guy who is the host, who just has nothing interesting to say at all. This guy who just seems really, really condescending, and I don't know. This guy wants to freaking have sex with a cat. Clearly his suppressed emotions are coming out, and he's trying to throw it onto Sonic.
Yeah, but this Sonic game, the 3D one, we just got like a CG trailer, and it has new attitude Sonic that has sex with the cat.
Bizarro World. All right.
What is that? Is cat
I was doing like a weird little clause. Like,
That's not what the Turtles do. Don't stop that.
Good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.
the reason is they all want to have sex with Big the cat.
That's true.
That is still the reason.
No, look,
that has sex with the cat.
Is cat
I was doing like a weird little clause. Like,
That's not what the Turtles do. Don't stop that.
Good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.
I mean, Sonic, let's be real here, guys. Sonic has some pretty freaky fandom things going on, and that's between us, the Sonic fans, right? these guys are cracking jokes and they clearly don't know what they're talking about. Unless they've been to Rule 34 lately. And this guy, I don't know what his deal is, but apparently he thinks Sonic has never been good. Which brings me to my point. If a game was never good, why would it have the following it does now? It's like, I guess I'll try to compare it. Like, I don't really know much about Star Wars, but I hear the prequels, like the 3 prequels of it, weren't so hot among fans. Like, what if, for example, people started going back and watching those movies and they were like, you know what, Star Wars was never that good, right? Because of those 3 prequels, let's forget the other good movies that were like the good ones, right? Let's just focus on the bad ones, and then we'll have a revisionist history where we go back and be like, Star Wars was never good. Or let's take a look at another series. Let's say Zelda, right? Yeah, here's one that's gonna get you guys heated. Like, let's say Zelda had some bad games, like a few bad runs, a couple of bad runs, maybe some 06s of Zeldas, yeah? And then we look back, and then we say, you know what? Zelda was never good. Link to the Past was garbage. Ocarina of Time was trash. Like, ooh, you guys hear that? That's the sound of very angry Zelda fans, right? Like, there's a reason they had a following. Like, it's not because they were just gimmicks. Sure, they had gimmick advertising, the blast processing and speed and Sonic and everything, but like, the games were good. There's a reason that there's a fan base for it. Most things that have a fan base, and I mean most, because if you have anything, there's a fan base for it. Hell, I have a fan base, right? Like even Final Fantasy, like the newest games, which have been like, said they're, straight corridor games or whatever. People don't go back and look at Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and 13-3 Lightning Returns and be like, oh, these games were bad. You know what? Maybe Final Fantasy wasn't great. Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3, nah. Even though they changed the RPG, genre in everywhere, like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, were the RPG changers and made RPGs kind of a big thing in America during like the PlayStation era and stuff like that. Final Fantasy 7 wasn't never that good, I don't get it. I don't get why people are so adamant on trying to go back and rewrite history like Sonic wasn't some sort of establishing icon, because he was a huge deal, and it's like them trying to discount that I don't know, it just seems really insulting. I don't get it. I just don't get it. We Sonic fans have to put up with a lot of bullshit, but this is ridiculous. Like, these guys should be ashamed of themselves. I should be ashamed of myself for getting so mad at this, because what do I care about what these 4 idiots have to say about Sonic? Why should I care? But tell me what you guys thought of this, this little thing here. What IGN thinks of Sonic. Clearly, I think this was they really seemed to go in, and I think they knew really what they were doing. Like, this is a straight up, let's stick it to the Sonic fans real quick. But yeah, go ahead and leave a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Werewoof Reactions for more videos like this one. My name is Wolfie, guys, and I am done wasting brain cells on this video. I'm gonna go play some Sonic CD, or, I don't know, Sonic 1. Maybe I'll get to play Emerald Hill Zone in Sonic 1. We'll see. Stay tuned. Forgot to click that off. Whoopsie.
Yeah, but this Sonic game, the 3D one, we just got like a CG trailer, and it has new attitude Sonic that has sex with the cat.
Bizarro World. All right.
What is that? Is cat
I was doing like a weird little clause. Like,
That's not what the turtles do. Don't stop that.
Good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.
the reason is they all want to have sex with Big the cat.
That's true.
That is still the reason. No, look,
Bizarro World. All right.
What is that? Is cat
I was doing like a weird little clause. Like,
That's not what the turtles do. Don't stop that.
Good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.